everyone is weighing in on this. Seinfeld says, and I feel like this happens every couple of months. Someone like of Seinfeld's ilk weighs in on the current state of comedy, and then people go, "Oh, he's right," and then people go, "Oh, he's wrong." Seinfeld says TV comedy is being killed by the extreme left and PC crap, and people worrying so much about offending other people. How is this a hot take in April of 2024? Okay, this has been the deal since the 2010s. My God, I feel like since Obama was in office, this has applied to comedy. And then people go, "Oh, comedy's not dead." But then they go, "Oh, there's just nothing to watch. There's just nothing on TV and or in movies." Yeah, that's what we're talking about. It's dead. What comedy shows are on the air right now? What comedy films have come out? It's been dead. It's been desolate. There was a bit of a comedy boom, like the remember the Judd Apatow comedy boom of the 2010s, and we saw like basically the same cast in like what felt like 15 different movies. Nothing really since then. And I always bring up the fact that Jamie Foxx wrote not quite a sequel, but something inspired by Tropic Thunder. Like he was very inspired by Robert Downey Jr.'s like blackface character in Tropic Thunder, and he actually, I don't know if they went ahead and shot it or they just had the script, but I guess he was doing another character similar to that, like not quite, not blackface. Maybe it was Mexican face. I don't know, but they had to put the whole thing on ice because they just were afraid to release a comedy film, which I think someone in Jamie Foxx's position, that's kind of a pussy move. He should be the one to trailblaze. I mean, God, if he's afraid of being canceled, what hope do any of us have? But again, not a hot take in 2024. Um, the extreme left is ruining everything that we hold dear. So this is from an interview with the New Yorker. He was touting his feature directorial effort, Unfrosted. What's Unfrosted about? That PC crap and the extreme left is making television comedy go extinct. Seinfeld is a sitcom icon thanks to the oh my God, eponymous. This is an SAT hot word for sure. Thanks to his eponymous NBC sitcom that ran between 1989 and 1998. Those are the years. We did the 90s. We didn't know how good we had it, guys. But he says viewers no longer flock to their television sets in order to get their comedy fix like they did for decades. Duh. Nothing really affects comedy. People always need it. They need it so badly and they don't get it, Seinfeld said. It used to be you would go home at the end of the day. Most people would go, "Oh, Cheers is on. MASH is on. Mary Tyler Moore is on. All in the Family is on." You just expected there'll be something funny that we could watch on TV tonight. Well, guess what? Where is it? This is the result of the extreme left and PC crap and people worrying so much about offending other people. Seinfeld noted that comedy fans are now going to see stand-up comics because we're not policed by anyone. Some stand-up comics are policed by people. I'm sure you guys could figure out which ones. The audience polices us. We know when we're off track. We know instantly and we adjust to it instantly. But when you write a script and it goes into 4 or 5 different hands, committees, groups, here's our thought about this joke. Well, that's the end of your comedy. We did an episode of the Seinfeld in the 90s where Kramer decides to start a business of having homeless people pull rickshaws because, as he says, they're outside anyway, he continued. Do you think I could get that episode on the air today? We would write a different joke with Kramer and the rickshaw today. We wouldn't do that joke. We'd come up with another joke. They'd move the gates like in like in the slalom culture. The gates are moving. Your job is to be agile and clever enough that wherever they put the gates, I'm going to make the gate. Seinfeld went on to stress that it's the stand-ups who really have the freedom to cross the line when it comes to comedy nowadays, further suggesting that television networks are no longer interested in doing anything that will ruffle feathers and offend the PC crowd, right? Because they are afraid of losing advertisers. They're afraid of the woke mob. Not the people that actually like would watch and enjoy the show. It's, as we know, it's the woke mob are the ones that will complain and bitch, but they're not actually the ones that buy tickets to comedy shows. They don't watch comedy shows. They don't watch sitcoms, but they're just like the loud bitchy crowd that ruins everything. So networks are afraid afraid of losing, I guess advertisers, and they're afraid of bad press. With his Netflix movie Unfrosted set to stream in May, Seinfeld has been making the press rounds for a few weeks and giving his blunt thoughts on the state of Hollywood. He proclaimed, "This is great press for him. He's crushing it. My God, this has got him a lot of mileage." He was giving his blunt thoughts on the state of Hollywood. He proclaimed the movie business is over, and we've been saying that for what feels like a year on FNT. In a recent interview with GQ magazine, film doesn't occupy the pinnacle in the social cultural hierarchy that it did for most of our lives, he said. When a movie came out, if it was good, we all went to see it. We all discussed it. We quoted lines and scenes we liked. Now we're walking through a fire hose of water just trying to see. So what, if anything, has replaced film? Depression, malaise, I would say confusion, disorientation replaced the movie business, Seinfeld answered. Everyone I know in show business every day is going, what's going on? How do you do this? What are we supposed to do now? Unfrosted streams on Netflix beginning May 3rd. Well, gosh, now I really want to check that out. Head over to the New Yorker's website to read Seinfeld's last interview in its entirety. Oh, this is another great little soundbite. I guess this is a interview he did recently. Bing, 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 bing. Seinfeld is so obsessed with stand-up. He is so obsessed with the craft, almost to an autistic level. But that's what makes him great.
Marcus Aurelius says your only focus should be on getting better at what you're doing. Focus on what you're doing. Get better at what you're doing. Everything else is a complete waste of time. Marcus Aurelius says your only focus should.
That very much applies to his stand-up. He is he's got an incredible work ethic, which is inspiring to me. And then people go, "Oh, Seinfeld, oh, you're old." And then anytime Seinfeld's in the news, you always have some folks that love to bring up the rumor. And I don't know if there's any truth to this or not, that he dated an underage girl at some point. I guess I'll have to look more into that to see if there's any truth to that. Even if it is true, what does that have to do with his take on comedy? Again, when you don't like somebody or somebody's opinions, how quick people are to bring up any type of controversy, any type of bullshit. That's just how people are. Oh god, this was a comic. I think he's kind of left wing. Imagine how embarrassing this take would be if the other creator of Seinfeld had made one of the funniest shows of all time that had no worry about offending people and ended this literal month. I think maybe he's referring to Curb Your Enthusiasm, which was sort of grandfathered in, they say, because Larry has been doing this for so long, and he kind of is in the I don't give a fuck. And his audience is so the Curb Your Enthusiasm audience is so kind of ride or die. No one's gonna try to cancel Curb or Larry David at this point. Oh, what is that? Dennis Miller. Oh, it's from Sebastian Gorka. Gorky. What does Gorky have to say about this? Credit to Jerry Seinfeld for telling the truth on how PC crap killed comedy and how the woke mafia killed Hollywood. This is probably a clip of exactly what I just said.
It used to be you would go home at the end of the day. Most people would go, oh, Cheers is on. Oh, MASH is on. Oh, Mary Tyler Moore is on. All in the Family's on. You just expected there'll be some funny stuff we can watch on TV tonight. Well, guess what? Where is it? This is the result of the extreme left and PC crap and people worrying so much about offending other people. Mm-hmm. When you write a script and it goes into 4 or 5 different hands, committees, groups, here's our thought about this joke. Well, that's the end of your comedy.
Mm-hmm. So what's the solution? You just have to have all your own people working with you, I guess. And anything you create has to be outside of the establishment, outside of the machine, which means you need to raise your own funds. You need to employ your own people. And, maybe you'll have a less polished product if it's a little more amateur. But, like, how else is anything supposed to be produced in this day and age? Either you're something like the Daily Wire that has its own funding, or you go, like, the more amateur route, right? Like if I were going to write a script, which who knows, maybe I am currently writing a comedy script with a couple other people. yeah, you would do what? Another GoFundMe, or you just save up your own money to shoot the thing, get it to a place where it's decent enough that you can pitch it to somebody, or fuck, you just do it all yourself. To the people that say, "Oh, let's not blame the leftists. Oh, well, this is just we're evolving as a civilization, as a society." Look back in the 2010s when we had all these comedy movies. We had the Judd Apatow era, even like the Amy Schumer era. Like her or hate her, she came up in an environment that was very comedy friendly. And what did we not have going on? Were there some uh was there some civil unrest with maybe the beginnings of the BLM shit? Maybe, but not as much as it is now. Who are the people that are complaining about comedy? It's not right-wing people, it's not centrists, it's not libertarians. It's mostly left-wing folks, loud kind of influencer types, or just, land whales at a comedy show. Um, I can't think of anyone who's complained about comedy, or think about all the people that have complained about somebody's stand-up. Has it been a right-winger? Has it been even somebody apolitical? No. It's been left-wing people. It's been the mob. Think about the people who came after Jocelyn Chia. It was the angry woke Malaysians. Think about who came after David Lucas. It was the woke black people who were obsessed with George Floyd. And probably white people too, but think about who came after Chappelle. It was the trans activists. Same with me, same with Tyler Fisher. And we didn't really in the 2010s, there was not as much of, "Oh, I don't like this person's joke. I'm gonna come after them, and I'm gonna make it so that they can't work again." There wasn't this desire to put somebody out of business, like put an individual completely out of business like there is now. People get off on it, but we just have to, and it's gonna keep happening. We just have to not really give them oxygen, and you have to not apologize, and it won't they won't have as much of an effect. That's why people keep doing it. But you all know. You guys all know this. I don't have to explain this to you. You guys know what's up. I think this is the bink, 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 bink. Yeah, to the people who say it's not the left wing, well then who the fuck is it? This is the guy who played on Jesse Waters. He had the guy, actor John O'Hurley. I think he played Peterman. John Peterman, the designer, the clothing designer. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm Art O'Hurley.
Oh.
I mean, you
He
couldn't
sounds
do,
exactly
you
the
couldn't
same.
do
He's a little fuller in the face, but he looks and sounds exactly
cannibal
the same.
jokes today.
Well, somebody
Jay
can, but they have to have been
Peterman.
real.
Right, you have to be president
great
to make
voice.
jokes like that.
Actually,
Do you-
it actually reminds me of a time when I was there in Papua New Guinea with the little naked natives of Bantubesh, presenting them with my annual mission of charitable giving. I gave them a Toto washless toilet. Yes, eco-friendly and elegant, even
Fuck,
under
he
the
was
canopy
so
of a tropical
funny.
rainforest.
This character was so
I miss
funny.
Jay Peterman so much. I really do. The
I do too.
rickshaw
I
that the
do
homeless
too.
were using for I think it was Kramer. He said they have nothing else to do. Strap some rickshaws to them and have them. I mean, homeless.
This is such people still laugh at the same shit. People still laugh at racist jokes. People still laugh at sexist joke. People still laugh at misogynistic, fucking, even if you hate men, you know what I mean? Like, we all laugh at the same shit. We just have to pretend that for some reason it's not funny anymore. Culture has evolved, I guess, mainstream bullshit culture, but people have not. Sense of humors have not. We still laugh at the same stuff. And there might be sure, if you want to be a comic or write a show that caters to left wingers, SNL, go ahead and do that, but that's not going to be for everybody. Every night we fall asleep to Seinfeld. I can't figure out the white noise machine for the baby, so we listen to Seinfeld as we drift off into sleep, and that seems to work just fine. Maybe the baby's gonna grow up loving Seinfeld. I think that's gonna be kind of a requirement.
Most jokes are probably a no-go zone now.
That's
Well,
great.
not only that,
I love that
have
they got this
stripped,
guy.
there are several actual episodes of Seinfeld that have been stripped from the syndication because
Really?
they didn't pass muster
Which
back then.
ones?
So
Could you tell
He
us
looks the
about
same.
some of these
Well, I
long
think it was,
lost?
Okay, he's
what-
got a little bit more of bags under his eyes. He's a little more clearly he's enjoying his retirement. He's probably in Florida somewhere in the South. But the great voice.
Puerto Rican flag, the Puerto Rican Flag Day, I think was that the one that I was in that actually. I don't remember what I
The
did.
Puerto
but,
Rican parade
I do
episode
remember
got
that
pulled.
never showing up again.
Well, they probably
Oh,
took it out because
wow.
you were in it.
You think? And I shouldn't take that personally.
No,
Yeah,
of course not, and you shouldn't.
He's
So,
a
John, when
delightful
you hear
man.
Jerry talk about that, I mean, he seems
He's a
sad.
delightful man.
I mean, he seems like it's never coming back. Is comedy coming back?
Well, it's an interesting question because, Jerry, of course, more than anyone, had a more accessible and clean platform of comedy. I mean, there wasn't a cleaner comic
he's not
in the
offending
business in the
people
last 50
per
years
se with his
of
stand-up.
our laughs.
He's just fed up
And
though.
for him to say that, and he said this about 10 years ago when he said, "I no longer
Yeah.
am doing college campuses." He says, "They're mean-spirited," and he says, "Okay," and that was 10 years ago.
Oh my God, I did one college. I was a couple years in, probably newer to I was probably more green of a comic that should be doing colleges. Who knows? Maybe I wasn't ready at the time. But then again, you see people that are brand new doing colleges. So I think I might have been 2 years in, and I did comedy at Rutgers. Oh God, it was just horrible. We were in a lecture hall. Obviously no stage. I think no microphone. I think I just was yelling. I just was yelling at this crowd of students. I was yelling my jokes at them. You can imagine how that went over. Not great. And then that was when did I start comedy? 2010, 2011. So it's probably 2012, latest 2013. And oh God, I was starting to it was bad circumstances. Most of these shows are. They're not produced well. A lot of people just get excited. Oh, someone said yes, we can perform there, and then they don't do anything else. They don't figure out a stage or a mic or lighting. So then you're just yelling your jokes like some sort of a TED talk at these kids. But would I do a college? I would attempt it just for the story, just to see how brutal it would be. I guess it would depend on the college. Let's be honest. No college would have me at this point.
And now the problem is that we have lost our ability to be silly.
Yes.
That's a sad thing when you think about it.
Yes.
Just let the shoulders go loose
Regain our
and say something
silliness.
silly about yourself. I have a whole show, my one-man show is just all self-deprecation. And it's safe
one-man show.
because I can make fun of myself. So, I'm hitting myself before anybody else can take
Hurley,
a shot at.
one-man show.
And there's a
But
lot of material
we
there.
have lost our sense of humor.
Oh,
It really is.
that.
I am a walking self-parody.
So, John, you're
see.
saying, are
this a
some
current
people
one-man
afraid
show?
of offending other people? Because when if a Puerto Rican guy says, "Fine, make fun of me," or a Hispanic guy says, "Sure,
Yeah.
come get some." Every race, gender, creed, color, whatever, they're fine with making fun of themselves. I think we're all sensitive of making fun of
Historically.
others.
Historically, ethnic groups would be searching to be included
He has
in the
Superman hair.
comic repertoire of our culture. And now, no, we can't. And it's not that they don't want it. It's that there's a select group of those who know better.
This is
who
their
feel as
doing. This
though
is the
they
industry's
should-
own doing. They have created this echo chamber. It's echo chamber. I have to I keep calling it the echo chamber. No, I blame Biodome for this. They've done this to themselves. They have surrounded themselves with the kind of people that condone this, and it's just like a disease that's infected all aspects of the mainstream and Hollywood. And people go, "Oh, how do we get out of this?" It's like, you got to turn around the fucking Titanic, or better yet, let the Titanic sink, and let's find a new boat.
Should be deprived of it. Our comedy is no longer silly. It's not about that. It's mocking and it's sarcasm, and that's not comedy.
Right.
I disagree. I think mocking and sarcasm are very important and needed at this time. Wait, let's rewind. Why would he say such a thing?
And now, no, we can't. And it's not that
They're all sensitive of making fun of others.
Maybe his own personal belief. Sure, I like to be silly. Maybe he's not a boundary pusher. I don't know if this guy does stand up or not, but maybe he's not. He's for being kind to people, which is boring.
historically ethnic groups would be searching to be included in the comic repertoire of our culture. And
That's
now,
inclusion.
no, we can't. And it's not that they don't want it. It's that there's a select group of those who know better who
The
feel
allies.
as though they should be deprived of it. Our
Yeah,
comedy
the allies.
is no longer silly. It's not about that. It's mocking and it's sarcasm. And that's not comedy.
Right. We have to make America silly again. Let's run on that. Thank you so much, John.
What a delightful man.
Remember, as Fireside Theater once said, we are all just bozos on the bus.
John, great seeing you. Thanks as always. And we miss you on Seinfeld. And if you want to see...
Okay, he's probably not a stand-up, which is why he's like, we shouldn't mock people. we have to mock people. Oh, look, there's my tweet. Oh, yes. Here's that.
It used to be you would go home at the end of the day. Most people.
Okay, I played that. Let's see if there's anything I missed.
Larry was grandfathered in this joke. Yeah. Well, that's the end of your comedy.
Have you had that?
Instantly. And we adjust to it instantly. But when you write a script and it goes into 4 or 5 different hands, committees, groups, here's our thought about this joke. Well, that's the end of your comedy.
Have you had that experience?
No.
Because isn't that what Curb is all about?
Yeah. Larry was grandfathered in. He's old enough that I don't have to observe those rules because I started before you made those rules.
Yeah, but then why doesn't I just wonder, why doesn't that apply to more folks? Like, why wouldn't that apply to like a Judd Apatow who's like, hey, I've been doing this since, I don't know, the early aughts. I think because he probably pussied out and he didn't take a stand. Because I think if he did, people would respect him. He's a fucking industry veteran. He's a respectable figure. Wow. Okay. Not a particularly like hot take here from Seinfeld, but it's still triggering people, which is so strange. I keep checking to see if these people are comedians. Canadian writer. Oh, okay. That's my favorite moment of 2024 is an open mic comedian saying, what does Jerry Seinfeld know about comedy? Yeah, that's funny. Dinesh weighing in. One problem with the humorless activists in the camps and in the media is that they can't stand to hear anyone else laugh, least of all them. Yeah, they're too serious. You couldn't make Seinfeld today. This is from Nick Lanny. Okay, comedian. Here we go. My guy, as a show about ignorant people doing morally questionable things, Always Sunny picked up the ball Seinfeld put down and ran way further. I just think that Seinfeld is very Gen X and Always Sunny is very millennial. Sensibility-wise. I think the weirdest part of Seinfeld's complaint about comedy is he's never done that style of comedy. No, I think he can speak on this. He does stand up, obviously. He observes culture like we all do. Oh, here we go. I was horrified when I found out Jerry Seinfeld dated a 17-year-old as a middle-aged man. And I saw how big the titties were, and I was still not cool with it. But come on. Okay, we're going to have to, if you're going to make an allegation like this, we need to see some real receipts, Mr. Howling Mutant. Oh, is this Steve Harvey? This guy got Steve Harvey on his podcast? Who are you? Alec Lace? Good for you. What does Steve Harvey have to say?
What's your take on all this stuff facing comedians today? Canceled.
What's going on with his background? He looks like he has his computer on the floor, Steve Harvey, and he's looking down at it, and the background is blurred. It always it always amazes me still when you have a high profile celebrity that still can't get their fucking act together in terms of their home setup. Like they still have bad equipment but it's just not a priority for some people.
Culture and the censorship going on with comedians.
Well, the cancel culture and political correctness has killed comedy. It's killed it. Comedy used to be a therapeutic place to go, man. It used to be a place where people could go and laugh at the absurd. They could go and laugh at themselves. They could go laugh at the different takes that comedians had on different subjects. Well, now we live in a society where you
think he's a fraud, Kevin?
Have to now agree with everything everybody says, and you have to agree with everything everybody does, or you're considered politically incorrect, and now you have to go. Well, I'm not that guy. I'm sorry, man. Listen to me. If you choose a certain lifestyle that's not like mine, I'm absolutely cool with that. But when you ask me about it, I have the right to tell you my angle on it. And if I don't agree with it, man, why I got to be the one in the wrong? Why you got to take my show from me? Look, if you want to do or be whatever you want to do or be, Steve Harvey's cool with everybody choosing the lifestyle you want. But don't come to me and ask me my opinion of the lifestyle. And then when I tell you I don't agree with it
Pat
for
Williams
me,
said he steals
now there's something wrong with me. And I think we've done this to everybody now, not just comedians. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle, man. If that's what you want to do, cool. But why do I have to agree with it? And if I don't, I'm canceled. I'm in trouble. You take my show, take my career. No, man, no. And I think we've gotten so politically correct that we have now stopped people from having the freedom to think how they want.
I think this guy's out. They're both too close to the camera.
You can't even think a wrong thought anymore. And it's not that it's wrong. It's just that it's not your take. Look, man, I'm all for everybody. Man, live your life. If that's how you want to do it.
Suck a dick. Get it. Take it in the butt.
Once you come over here and I tell you what mine is, you can't get mad at me.
Mm-hmm. Well, like him or hate him, I think that's a good take. Bink, 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 bink. Oh, are they going to make this about religion? Is this guy a comic? Catholic bestseller. Boring. Seinfeld should be blaming Jewish organizations like the ADL. Jewish comedy is based on the same double standard as Jewish free speech. Bad take. I don't know. This is kind of forced. Free speech and comedy are necessary to ridicule the values of the Christian majority when the Jews are out of power. Oh, God. There's some people that are just like so obsessed with religion. They just ham-fisted into every opinion. As soon as the Jews control of the levers of power, they impose thought control on everyone else. So Lenny Bruce was okay, but Jerry born too late, and now he refuses to admit that the Jews killed comedy. Boo, bad take. Okay, the Blades. If you need a diversity committee to determine what's funny or have to placate to the lowest common denominator, your culture is doomed. From John Lefebvre. This is probably my favorite Seinfeld joke ever. Ooh.
See, because all men kind of think of themselves as like low-level superheroes in their own world. I'm not even supposed to be telling you this.
I've never seen Seinfeld do stand-up.
But when men are growing up and they're reading about Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, these aren't fantasies. These are options. This is the deep inner secret truth of the male mind. I'll give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Did you ever see a guy out on the highway moving a mattress tied to the roof of the car?
Without fail, he's got the arm out the window holding the mattress. This is classic male idiot superhero thinking. This moron believes if the wind catches this huge rectangle at 70 miles an hour, I got it. Don't worry about it. I'm using my arm.
Oh, how delightful. Who's going to have a problem with that? It just sounds like a conversation. I forget that he's doing stand-up. Is this another TikTok?
Everything that you're worried about is going to be gone like that. The people that are criticizing you, they're going to be gone. You're going to be gone. All this hand-wringing worry and concern over how are people viewing me?
Ooh.
Someone said something bad about me, and you
Ooh.
get so upset about it, is wasted time and energy. Marcus Aurelius says you're only...
Oh, okay. And that's how we get into that clip. You should only be focused on getting better. That's great advice. Don't worry about what people are saying about you. What are you guys saying in the chat? Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Love you, get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.